Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Good morning, everyone. Top of the morning to you. It is Tuesday morning, and it is December the 13th, and Joe Biden is still the worst president in U.S. history. Welcome to Morning Madness. I hope you've got your cup of coffee as I have got mine, and we're ready to get the show started. First and foremost, thank you to everyone watching across the world on Millennium TV 24, on Roku, Amazon, Apple, Samsung TV. Make sure you download the Millennium 24 app so that you can stay up with us every day, anywhere you want to check out the show. Again, folks, also thank you to everyone who supports us over at the Urban Conservative. Make sure you jump over to tuconservative.com, get yourself a membership. And folks, it's been a crazy morning. First, I want to give a big shout out to Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson here in the great state of North Carolina. I had an opportunity to go to his Christmas party and toy drive yesterday up at the Lieutenant Governor's office in Raleigh. And folks, it is so good to see so many America-loving, God-fearing patriots supporting something. And I say Merry Christmas. If you don't like Merry Christmas, I don't know what you're going to do, because it's Merry Christmas to me. Happy Holidays is cool. I won't be offended if you say Happy Holidays. Matter of fact, just out of curiosity, how many of you folks actually get offended when somebody says Happy Holidays? Not me, because I can appreciate it, but I always go with the Merry Christmas. Now, we've got a couple of things we're going to cover this morning. I gotta tell you, folks, man, the news world doesn't stop. One of the biggest issues we've had, and I'm going to try to get Emily Rainey on one of these morning shows, is this whole idea of drag queen story hour in local libraries. Now, I personally am not a fan of the drag queenery. I don't really understand it, but it ain't for me to understand. It's for folks who enjoy men dressed up as women. I mean, hey, to each his own. I'm not necessarily a big fan of it, but I'm hearing that there are protests going on, even in New York City. Protests are going on against this whole drag queen story hour thing. And we've actually got a story we're going to share with you guys here. They read sexual books. They dress up as the devil, protect the innocence of our kids. They're using our taxpayer money to fund this. We have a right to say where our tax dollars go at a public library. And this, folks, is coming out of New York City. Let me get my headphone game together. I want to hear this as you guys hear it. So let me hear what this brother has to say.
We're the guardians of the bandit, and what we do is we protest and shut down these drag story hours. Because we've sat at them before. They read sexual books. They dress as the devil. I mean, protect the innocence of our kids. And they're using our taxpayer money to fund this. As taxpayers, we have the right to say where our money goes. It's a
Nothing wrong so far?
Public library. So we went in there and we protested at the drag story, and then we shut it down early. So it was a big success. And Antifa didn't show up. They didn't get wind of it. They usually do. Antifa, they're protectors and perpetuators of wicked things. So it's no wonder they would protect something as wicked as drag story hour. So we the people said enough is enough. We're shutting this down, and mission accomplished. We'll shut down. We're gonna keep shutting them down until they don't pop up anymore. Because we're the light in the darkness, boots on the ground. God, Guardians of Divinity.
Wow, I didn't hear one thing wrong with what that brother said. Not one thing. Number one, why in the world is you bringing children into a drag queen store? I don't even understand the idea of putting children into a situation where they have to have these questions. Mommy, why is that guy dressed like that? Or mommy, is that a man? That's just insane. But it shouldn't be done. If you want to have a drag queen story hour and you want to read to some adults, have at it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I think the minute you start putting children into the equation, and then the argument that this thing is somehow not sexual. I mean, what's the idea of a drag queen if it ain't sexual, if it ain't a dude trying to dress up to be provocative? And we're going to come back to this, because I think one of the biggest issues we have here is in the Biden administration. They talk about this whole idea of being what is that, diverse and inclusive and all that kind of stuff, but it usually, diversity and inclusion goes along with some wild stuff, right? It goes along with some pretty wild stuff. And there's actually a story, since we were covering this drag queen story hour there, that I wanted to share with you guys, because it's something where this morning, folks, if you haven't had your cup of coffee, you might want to get your cup of coffee, because this is what we're talking about right here. This is exactly what we're talking about right here. Okay, this is what we're talking about. The White House invited Marty Gould Cummings, a non-binary drag queen who has repeatedly attacked police online, to attend the Respect for Marriage Act signing ceremony on Tuesday. Cummings thanked President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden and shared an image of the digital invitation in the social media post on Monday. So there you go. That's who the F the police guy, and I'm calling it a guy because that's a dude. That's clearly a dude, y'all. Like, that's not even up for debate that that's a dude. But that's who Biden thought it was a good idea to bring to the White House. Anti-police, non-binary. Yeah, with these. What is non-binary? Okay. Let me try this out. If you're a man pretending to be a woman, or you're a woman pretending to be a man, then there's two choices, and that there becomes a binary choice. I don't even the logic, folks, is baffling. It is baffling what these people are doing. But this is continued work from your administration. This is the folks that allegedly people voted for to lead the country, inviting anti-police hating people to the White House. Now, I personally have been to the White House. It's a real honor. I've never said defund the police. I've never attacked the police. I just don't understand why in the life of me that Biden would bring these people in. Speaking of non-binary individuals, speaking of that, this is another story we need to cover. And folks, this is good. So the dude, Sam Brinton, Bagman, aka I like to steal people's bag, is no longer a U.S. Department of Energy employee, as the cross-dressing former Biden official faces 2 felony charges for twice stealing women's suitcases. His government email has been deactivated. Bro, how you get a job making that kind of money? And first of all, Sam Brinton, bro, he was going to schools and talking about kink and teaching people BDSM and all that kind of thing. And you figure, what is somebody, the deputy assistant undersecretary for spent waste or whatever his title, you gotta be making 80, 90, 100 grand a year. You couldn't go get a Marc Jacob bag, bro? Like, what are we dealing with in the world? Or was it just a sense of entitlement that this guy felt like, oh, I'm untouchable in today's society because I'm a non-gender conforming, binary, queer, gay guy? Is that what y'all think it is? He literally thought he was untouchable? Well, Sam got touched and he's no longer employed with the United States government. And that's what happens, folks, when you violate the rules. The rules are bring your own bags to the airport, leave with your own bags from the airport, and you'll be fine. You won't have to worry about going to jail. You won't have to worry about people saying you look like a low-budget Matt Damon in drag. You won't have to worry about any of that, because all you had to do was do the right thing. But that, I mean, we're at a point in society, folks, where doing the right thing is apparently inviting children to go see drag queen story hours. And shouts out to everybody that's protesting this filth. And I call it what it is. It's filth. If you're bringing kids into a classroom, it doesn't need to be there. You know, that doesn't need to be there. So we also got something important we want to cover. The Decision Desk HQ projects Rep. Lauren Boebert, the Republican, wins re-election to the U.S. House in Colorado's 3rd Congressional District. She is the projected winner. So that means the Republicans held that seat in Colorado. Shouts out to Lauren Boebert for making that happen and getting out there and running a race. Many of you know, ooh, this is going to be a good one. Many of you know that the FTX guy was supposed to appear before Congress. And I got to show you guys this because this just goes to show the efficiency of our government in play. Maxine Waters was surprised by Sam Bankman-Fried being arrested in the Bahamas. They received confirmation this afternoon from Mr. Bankman that he was still planning to appear before the committee tomorrow, but then he was arrested. And this, folks, is the statement directly from Congresswoman Auntie Mad Maxine. I'm surprised to hear, so she says it in her own statement. I'm surprised to hear that Sam Bankman-Fried was arrested in the Bahamas at the direction of the U.S. State's Attorney for the Southern District of New York. It's about time the process to bring Mr. Bankman-Fried to justice has begun. However, as the public knows, my staff and I have been working diligently for the past month to secure Mr. Bankman-Fried's testimony before the committee tomorrow morning. We've received confirmation this afternoon that Mr. Bankman-Fried and his lawyers that he was still planning to appear before the committee, but then he was arrested. Although he must be held accountable, the American public deserves to hear directly from Mr. Bankman-Fried about the actions that harmed over 1 million people and wiped out the hard-earned life savings of so many. Yeah, that whole FTX thing is effed up. It's effed up. I mean, we're talking about somebody who has literally wiped out the life savings of people. Don't know where they're going to get this money from. But look, part of me wants to go, yo, why on God's green earth do you fall for this stuff? I've never been a big fan of the crypto thing. So let me get this straight. I'm going to give you money that I could tangibly see for money that I can't withdraw it. I can't see it. I'll never actually have it. There's nothing, at least with money, you have paper. I mean, crap hits the fan, you could burn the paper and keep warm, right? Crap hits the fan, you got some coins. But this digital stuff, folks, I've never been a fan of this whole idea of the crypto thing. And I'm sure Bitcoin and all that stuff is good, but I just like money that I can see. But I think there's going to be more to this Sam Bankman-Fried story, FTX. I think there's going to be more uncovered. There's definitely going to be more to be seen, but I think we'll see. We just got to stay focused, folks. And this is part of the reason why it makes me want to put a little shot of bourbon in my coffee in the morning. Because these people, man, have any of you guys actually watched an interview from Sam Bankman-Fried? These are the most juvenile, immature people. For these folks to have control over that kind of money, billions of dollars. You understand what I'm saying? Not a couple of 100,000, not a couple of hundred, but billions of dollars. Would it be on it? But billions of dollars. So, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here on Morning Madness with your host, Addul Ali. Stay tuned. Don't go nowhere.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching here on Millennium TV 24. You're either watching on Roku, Amazon, or Apple TV, on your smart TV, Samsung, and all that good stuff. We really appreciate the support, and big ups to the entire team at Millennium TV 24. As we go through this morning madness, folks, is one thing I just gotta say. Every day we get up, we're lucky enough to wake up. If you live in the United States, some would say in the best country in the world, and clearly one of the freest countries in the world. But what I can't understand, right, I don't understand for the life of me, is this victim mentality, okay? I just don't fathom it. I can't wrap my brain around it. Many of y'all who know our story know my twin brother and I were born to a drug-addicted mom. We were born into a dysfunctional household riddled with the disease of addiction and dysfunction. And folks, we never asked anybody to do anything for us. The idea that we were somehow victims. Now, it was there at first, but it took people who cared about us to pull us out of that victim mindset. I don't understand now in today's society how it is these young people feel so victimized about every single thing, okay? And racism is the left has programmed these young people to see racism at every single turn. The cop stopped me. He stopped me because I'm black. The security guard asked me for my receipt. He asked me for my receipt because I'm black. He don't understand what I'm talking about. He white. He can't possibly fathom what I'm talking about. And it is so weird, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely weird to me to see how much folks rely on this racism argument. This story I saw, and I got to share this with y'all this morning. I haven't watched the video in its entirety, so we're going to do that live here on the show, folks. So let's give it a shot.
I'm not a racist, but it's just some things that I pay attention to very, very carefully.
Wait, what?
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a racist.
Yes, you are.
But it's just some things that I pay attention to very, very carefully that just rubs my skin the wrong fucking way, okay? Okay, so I'm at my patient house, and mind you, I've been to a lot of, white, people's houses to take care of them, right? And every time I check their mail, and they open their bills, like their utility bill payments or house payments or whatever, it's always very, very cheap. Like their power bill would be like $30 to $200, and all the rest of their utilities would be even cheaper and stuff. But this what gets me. They stay in these big mansion houses. They always have their lights on. Their power bill is cheap. Like every utility bill is cheap. And I'm like, I stay in a little ass 2-bedroom apartment and my utilities are like almost up to $500 every month, literally. I'm like, it's like I don't want to pull the race card, but I just
yes, you do.
I have been noticing this pattern with every white person house that I done came to. Like their bills are like cheaper, but in the black community, our bills are like so high. Like, does anybody else not notice this? Like, am I tweaking?
Yes, you're tweaking. You're absolutely tweaking. You, my dear, are tweaked all the way out, okay? First of all, ain't your job to be looking at these people bills. That's just the first thing. This is the first thing I noticed, is that you talking about other people bills. You ain't there to be looking at their bills. Second of all, how do you know that they haven't prepaid in advance for electrical services? Because I know people who do that. How do you know? You say they always have their lights on. I've been to some white folk house, and while they might keep their lights on, they don't keep a bunch of TVs on. They don't got a bunch of clocks plugged in. It could be a myriad of reasons. But to suggest that somehow all white people have cheaper bills than black people, or you somehow, young ladies, speak for black people, like we in the black community, because you got a $500 bill. Now, I am sorry, young lady. I'm sorry, young lady. You got to pay to play. All right. I appreciate the fact that you're at work, which is a good thing. That's a good thing that you're at work. Yay, capitalism. You got the opportunity to work and pay your bills, but it ain't racist. The electrical company ain't going, oh, that's a white person, let's charge them less. That's not happening. And if it did happen, we got enough mechanisms, I think, in place in this country now to catch that kind of thing and to make sure that it's not happening anymore. Speaking of absolute madness, right? Speaking of absolute madness, I gotta show y'all this. Y'all know I like some of Kanye's music, man. I do. But this dude is just, I don't know if this is where we are as a society, folks. I guess this is where we are as a society. Let's check this video out. Here you go.
Way, I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode, but I may be slightly autistic.
Yo, Kanye out here looking like the Gimp from Pulp Fiction, bro. Yo, what are we doing here, Kanye?
I'm not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode.
Yes, you are.
But I may be slightly autistic. I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of episode, but I may be slightly autistic.
Wow.
I am not bipolar. I'm not in some kind of...
Wow. So, folks, Kanye said he may be a little bipolar. I don't even understand that. I I totally don't even understand that. I don't know what's going on with this dude. I'm sorry, y'all. Somebody needs to get a hold of that dude and get him some help. Clearly, that dude has lost his mind. I don't understand it, but this ought to tell you something about where we are as a society, right? This ought to tell you right here. Let me show y'all this. This is what we're talking about right here. Okay. This is what we're talking about right here. Think about this for a second. Now, y'all gonna judge me and say, "Oh, but they work so hard and they." All right, yo, Lionel Messi kicks a ball through a net. LeBron James puts a ball through a hole. So does Cristiano Ronaldo. Kicks a ball. So does Neymar. These are people who play. Okay, these are people who play for a living. You play soccer. You play basketball. You play football. Now, one sport I will say that you do not play is MMA. You don't play MMA. But look at the ungodly amounts of money that we as a society, and I'm not just talking about here in the US, look at these NBA players and NFL players, right? You look at the amount of money, and then we go, teachers make 60 grand a year. Does that seem a little odd to y'all? I mean, it seems a little odd to me, but you know what? This is a prime example of where our society and where our culture is going. When this kind of money is being paid to somebody to kick a ball through a net, is essentially what we're talking about. Yeah, I get it. There's some strategy and you got to exercise really hard, but at the end of the day, you're playing. Okay, you're playing. You're playing. You get $130 million a year to play. Okay, that's what you're getting the money for, is to play. Absolutely bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Okay? Absolutely bonkers. That's where we are as a society, folks. Where we're kicking out that kind of money for people to put balls in holes. Like, yo, think about that for a second. All you're doing, bro, is you're putting a ball through a hoop. I got to show y'all this, though. I I saw this story and I was like, yeah, before I get out of here, I gotta make sure y'all see this. That is the sheepdog who killed eight coyotes who tried to attack his sheep. Okay. Yo, I had no idea that sheepdogs were gangster. So there's more to the story. I don't have it pulled up, but let me just tell you something, folks. This is a prime example of what we as a society need to be doing. Okay, the American people are the sheepdog. These people with this far left agenda, this far left, let's groom our kids, let's put drag queens in the libraries, let's minimize your rights, let's infringe on the Constitution, let's take away your guns. Those are the coyotes, and we are the sheepdogs. And it can be done. That sheepdog just showed you can fend off 8 coyotes. Okay, and we've got work to do. We've got to be like that sheepdog. I thought that was an interesting story. Like I said, I had no idea sheepdogs were gangster. Who would have thunk sheepdogs are gangster like that? Never in a million years would I have thought that. So, folks, this morning, just a little word of wisdom as we depart. I'm getting ready to go take a tour of our work with our DA on some stuff. So listen, folks, we appreciate you supporting us here on Millennium TV 24. If you haven't done so already, make sure you download the app. We really appreciate y'all watching on Apple TV, Roku TV, Samsung TV, Amazon TV, wherever you're watching online. We really appreciate it. Each and every morning, we're going to be right here with Morning Madness, covering a few things for you. We really look forward to seeing you guys throughout the remainder of this year and on to next year into 2024. So be nice to somebody today. You never know when you can be somebody's angel. Make sure you support us over at tuconservative.com. Again, for Morning Madness, I am Addul Ali, and thanks for watching on Millennium TV 24. We will see you guys tomorrow morning.